for LGBT and transgender moral equality. In South Africa, they call him Baba Umkhulu, which is roughly translated as Big Daddy. Go have fun with that. I am thrilled tonight to be a part of this incredible gathering of justice warriors. I am in good company. My spouse of 27 years, Shirley, is also here with me. And I am so grateful to have her here. Shirley and I have come through all of the hoops required of us by the church, by our families, and by society, and particularly in the African American community. I once called her my roommate. We pretended to have separate bedrooms, one of which we never slept in, until we decided that loving God was about loving truth and having integrity. The other thing that is important is what happened between us would have been inappropriate for roommates. I also remember when we had the conversation with our two daughters. We were nervous, but we told the girls who we really were to each other. And they, of course, said, "So you think this is news to us?" I was recently disinvited from preaching at a church because in their Googling of me, I'm very Googleable, by the way, in their Googling of me, they found out that I am a practicing lesbian. And I want to say that after 27 years, Shirley and I are no longer practicing. We are, in fact, professionals. If you'll allow me a moment to wax theological. In the book of Acts, there is a story told about Paul, who, when he entered into a new Greek city to spread this curious good news about a fresh new way, the heart of his message was that everyone is welcome and equal at God's table. This was radical for his time, and it is radical for ours. Folks got real excited and wanted to equate Paul with the god Hermes, not the clothing store, the god Hermes, or Mercury. And they wanted to sacrifice bulls to him, and Paul tried to talk them out of it, saying, "Stop this, ladies and gentlemen. I am just like you." But in the meantime, folks came from headquarters and saw the potential effect that Paul's message would have on their positions of power, and they said, "We will have none of this." The headquarters folks were determined to maintain the status quo, and they breathed threats, and they created such fear that the same crowd that at one time planned to elevate Paul to God status ended up stoning him and leaving him for dead. They drug him out of the city on an ox cart. But it was at this moment that something truly wonderful happened. A circle of his friends, his brothers, his sisters, his sons, and his daughters surrounded Paul, and in their surrounding him, healing came into his body. This once battered and left for dead warrior of truth and justice was lifted from despair and strengthened enough to go back to the same city and continue to share the good news that all are welcome at the table.